Farmer protests may have calmed, but the anger remains. To soothe tensions, the French president is organizing a debate with various actors across the sector as France's annual farming fair kicks off, but it's proving to be a difficult start. We can now bring in France 24's Covis Casali, who has been covering the farmer unrest for us here on the channel. Clovis, great to see you. Tell us what's going on here.
Well, first, what is this agricultural show or agricultural fair? It's a big event here in France and people around the world watch it. 600,000 visitors each year. You've got politicians, you've got the president who turn up to meet farmers. And this year, President Emmanuel Macron knows he's not going to get the warmest of welcomes. Why? Because of these weeks of protest. Farmers taking to motorways, blocking roads, taking to town centres, protesting over working conditions and various demands that we'll elaborate on later. President Macron decided to organise a debate with all the key players in the sector. Supermarkets, food distributors, farmers, as well as environmental NGOs. And this is where it gets sticky for him. His team decided to invite Les Soulèvements de la Terre, which is an NGO once dubbed eco-terrorists by the Interior Minister himself. He wanted to dissolve this group. But Emmanuel Macron's team invited this organization. Inviting this organization basically left the FNSEA, which is the main farmers' union, furious. They're arch enemies. They're sworn enemies of the FNSEA, the Soulèvements de la Terre. So the FNSEA said, you know what? You're disrespecting us. We are not turning up for this meeting. Let's take a listen to the head of the FNSEA this morning, explaining his position, and you'll see harsh words for the French government and president.
I will not be taking part in this major debate, as I have said, because I find what is happening incomprehensible, and the cynicism that prevails is intolerable. They haven't been able to grasp the farmers' anger, and behind this political staging, there's a major missed opportunity.
So, Clovis, this is clearly an embarrassment for the president as this agricultural fair is about to kick off. But talk us through what the government has been doing to quell the unrest in this country.
Well, first, what do the farmers want? We met them over the last few weeks, followed them during some of their protests. They want a fair price for their work. Take the milk sector. Well, some farmers say that prices are dictated to them by food distributors, supermarkets, and they're even at times working at a loss. Unbearable. They also want they say there is also too much red tape. These are the farmers we meant, and they're in total despair. On vous nourrit, mais on n'en vit pas. We're feeding you, but we can't make a living from it. The message is very clear. They say there's also too much bureaucracy, too many norms, too many rules, always new rules set by the government, but also by the EU, by Brussels, and they're completely lost with all of these laws. And they also blame the difficult conditions on unfair competition from EU nations with not the same rules for, say, oranges being grown in Spain and those in France. So unfair competition, not the same pesticides allowed in Spain and in France, and let alone with outside EU nations. Fair trade deals with say, I don't know, South America, Asia, these free trade deals, well, those are unacceptable for French farmers. They say it's unfair competition. They want better rules. The PM, Prime Minister Gabriel Attal, has been coming up with some measures, but it's not clear enough. It's not concrete enough, not practical enough. He said he wants to reach food sovereignty for France. He's organising a conference to work on eating French, but not clear measures. That's what the farmers are saying. Demonstrations, consequently, today in Paris, some tractors already on the streets of the French capital, and the FNSEA, the main farmers' union we were talking about earlier, well, they're organising, staging a protest this afternoon in Paris. Our teams will be following them. Tractors in Paris heading to the Porte de Versailles, which is where the agricultural show is taking place, and we're told that the farmers are looking to stay there overnight.